Hey guys, what's up? So I didn't make a video all week last week, and I apologize for that. I've had a pretty crazy, hectic, anxiety-ridden week, but I did want to make an update about my consultation with Dr. Chen regarding bottom surgery, and I have more updates to do regarding my show and traveling and all those things, but I'm gonna make that tomorrow. So for now, I am just gonna focus on bottom surgery. I had my consult with Dr. Chen last Thursday, and previously I had a consult with Dr. Crane. And when I first went into Dr. Crane, I came in there with the mindset that I was set on metodioplasty. And I kind of came out of Crane's office focused on phalloplasty. If you don't know the difference between metodioplasty and phalloplasty, I'm going to give you a very brief synopsis just so you kind of know more of what I'm talking about. Metodioplasty is the procedure that they use your natural growth that you get from testosterone to create a phallus. So by natural growth, I mean that if you don't know, if you know me in real life, I am sorry, this might be too much information. Stop watching now if you don't want to know about my bottom area. But when you go on testosterone, what was previously your clitoris grows to be a small phallus. So metodioplasty, they take what you've got naturally, they lengthen it basically, and create your junk. They create the phallus that way. The problem with that, I'm so sorry, these are not going to be highly technical terms. I am not a doctor. So just imagine that you have a small penis. So they can reroute everything so that you can possibly pee standing up and all that stuff with what you've grown naturally. But the downside is that you have a pretty small penis. So I was gonna be okay with that as long as I could pee standing up. So yeah, metodioplasty, they just use what you've got. Phalloplasty, they take a graft, which is usually from your arm. They can also take it from your thigh, but I would be taking it from my arm. The thigh procedures, I'm not happy with the size. Usually the girth comes out to be about a soda can. So I don't know what I would do with a penis the size of with the girth the size of a soda can. So phalloplasty, they take a pretty big chunk of your arm. It leaves a pretty big scar. So that was my main holdup going into phalloplasty. I like everything about phalloplasty except for the arm scar because it's so visible, and I was afraid socially that it would affect me because I didn't want people to stare or ask what happened, and it's just like, oh, what happened to your arm? I just would not know what to say besides, oh, they took it so that they could build me a dick. And it's just like, that's not something that I want to share. I guess I could say I'm not comfortable talking about it. Or I could also, since I cook for a living, I could say that I burned myself. But then again, that's not a great thing because I would just look like a really accident-prone chef. So, I don't know. Phalloplasty is a lot more intense. It's got a longer recovery time, longer hospital stay. But the reward is that you have an average size penis, and you can pee standing up for sure, and you can have penetrative sex, which is a definite plus. With metodioplasty, although you might be able to pee standing up using a urinal, penetrative sex is pretty much not gonna really happen. So with either surgery, you're definitely sacrificing something. It's like a horrible game of would you rather. Would you rather have a small penis, or would you rather have an average penis with a very large arm scar? So the bummer side is both deal with sacrifice. You just have to choose what is more important for you. And for me, I have decided to look into the long run, and in the long run, after recovery and after the scar healing more, I've decided that phalloplasty is more of what I would like to go for, just for aesthetically looking reasons, and also penetrative sex, and for using a urinal for sure, like making that a for sure thing. I did have Dr. Chen examine me for metodioplasty because last time Dr. Crane didn't even look at what I had going on. and he just pointed me towards phalloplasty pretty much. But Dr. Chen wasn't pushy, and he wanted to do what was best for me and listen to what I wanted. So even though everything I said kind of aligned with phalloplasty, he decided to, you know, take a look at me to see if I'd even be a good candidate for metodioplasty. And what kind of threw me was that he said I would be a really good candidate for metodioplasty because of my build and my growth. Not to brag, but yeah, he said that I would be a really good candidate for that. So then I was kind of stuck in this pickle of, okay, so maybe I should choose metodioplasty since I've been given the right build to have this surgery, and it's easier. Recovery time is way less. 6-week recovery time versus 2 months recovery time. So yeah, like 5 days in the hospital versus maybe no days in the hospital. But if I don't think about recovery time and I think about everything I want with this surgery, then it's phalloplasty. Plus, he also said that a lot of guys who have metodioplasty often are not satisfied. When time passes, they want something bigger, and they even end up getting phalloplasty. So instead of going for metodioplasty to begin with, maybe not being satisfied and then having to go through a whole other huge surgery is not something I want to do, not to mention insurance might not pay for it. So I've got phalloplasty is my choice. I'm solid on that. And my surgery day actually moved up 1 day, so my date is officially June 13th, 2017. And that means I also have to get started on electrolysis, which is where they take the hair off your arm, because you can have complications with hair on your arm, and plus no one wants a hairy penis. So I've looked into electrolysis here around town, and insurance will cover it if you get a letter from Chen's office saying that it's medically necessary. But they usually work in like a reimbursement kind of system. So I'm a little worried that how I'm gonna pay for this up front and then get reimbursed, because it's like $65 for an hour session. I don't know how many sessions I need to have, and apparently it hurts too, so that's gonna be fun. So electrolysis will be my next step after I figure out how I'm gonna pay for that until insurance reimburses me. So that's fun. That's stressing me out, definitely. And I'm just kind of trying to come to terms with dealing with having the arm scar. I've been mentally kind of picturing my arm that way just to get used to it. And I think it's getting easier and easier just to know that it's something that's going to be there. It's going to be something that's a part of me, kind of like getting a tattoo. Also, with a good amount of time, I believe you can get it tattooed over. So there's that, if I so decide. It probably depends how well I heal up and how noticeable it is and all those fun things. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, so that is my update on my bottom surgery. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Also, I want to say that Dr. Chen, he is, like, I really liked this guy. I trust him. I definitely trust him. He is very knowledgeable, very down to earth, very friendly, definitely wanted to give you whatever it was that you were looking for, and didn't push me or sway me in any direction. He just literally was like, you have a good build for this, but with what you want, you might want to do this. So it was good. Crane was a lot pushier. He was just like, phalloplasty, like that was my only option. So I'm glad that I have more options and he's not just gonna try and sway me one way or another. And yeah, I have another phone consult with him in 2 weeks, just because I was so undecided at the time, but I still have my date. And sticking to phalloplasty, gotta get my electrolysis, and yeah, I think that's it for now. So yeah. Alright guys, peace out. I will see you next time.